Warning. Actonville TV disclaimer. The views and opinions expressed in this program are those of the host, authors, and do not necessarily reflect the official policy or position of any religious affiliation.
வணக்கம், நமஸ்தே, நமஸ்காரம், சாய்ராம், ஜெய் ஸ்ரீராம், சுவாமியே சரணம் ஐயப்பா, வெற்றிவேல் முருகனுக்கு அரோகரா, யரவேல் முருகனுக்கு அரோகரா, சக்திவேல் முருகனுக்கு அரோகரா. Good afternoon everybody, welcome to the show. Alright, as you know, it is the week of Skanda Shasti, but because we've been down for so many days and missed many episodes, as we are in the nation's south and we've been trying to stream for 2 weeks straight, having fiber problems in the nation's south, electricity problems in the nation's south. As you know, South Africa suffers with load shedding, but fear not, we're making this work. We are going to go live every single weekday, Monday through to Friday, with no fail, right here on Actonville TV. It's for everyone. Now, for those of you who don't know what you're looking at, this is the Journey Show, the show about exploring Hinduism as a whole. I'm your host, Kimera, Heeralal, to keep you well educated, as well as I'm growing in my spiritual path, and we believe on Actonville TV, we are an educational channel, educational platform, which loves to educate those about, well, all things good. On this specific show, though, there are 2 shows on this channel, which is the Crack of Dawn show, and don't forget, this is the Journey Show about exploring Hinduism. Alright, so we've got a great lineup for you guys, as today's topic is Buddhism. Alright, this is episode 115, and we've got a great lineup. We're talking about Buddhism. It's basically like the origination of Buddhism, and then we've got Shashi Gasain coming and joining us along on our screens, as she will explain to you what is Buddha Day. She'll also speak about the Vesak Festival 2023, as well as the Buddha Purnima 2023. I think this is quite beautiful, as a lot of people are not very educated on Buddha. We've also got great music, bhajans coming up for you guys, and you know that towards every show, towards the end of every show on Actonville TV, we must do the 108 principles of the value system from the Tirukural, and it's going to be a beautiful thing. Now, don't forget, we have the MSK, known as the Meenakshi Sundareswara Koval Temple, who is hosting or celebrating the Skanda Shasti. We've also got Karthikay Deepam that's coming up, and then if you also need gurus, we will share that with you. As we have lots of love coming in on YouTube, we've got Devan Naidu saying Namaskaram. Namaskaram to you too. So thank you for joining the show. It's been an honor and a pleasure to have you. Sorry we've been missing for 2 weeks. We've had lots of struggles in Lenasia South. Also, if you notice, our studio looks a bit better than what it used to be, the quality that you're watching and looking at. We upgraded our studio in the past 2 weeks. That's also beautiful. Leave alone the fiber problems and Lenasia South's electricity problem. But we've also bettered our studios. Hope you guys noticed it, and enjoy the show. Alright, so as we open up every single show, since this is a show about Hinduism, everything we do, we must pass Lord Ganesha first and praise him first. Helping us do that this afternoon is Baby Nishara and Siandam Shlaba with Nada Gana Nada.
तेरी यादा इन मन में गजमुगदे
Ganesha. Beautiful rendition with Baby Nishara and Siandam Clara with Nada Gananada. Beautiful delivery, guys. Thank you so much. They're all the way from Durban, for those of you who don't know who you saw now. Alright, so as I want to apologize to Dev and Naidu, we're still working with a bit of technical difficulties in studio as we upgraded. We cannot put our comments live on the screen, so we do apologize for that, Devin. Forgive us, Mr. Naidu. Alright, but we're going to work on it, I promise. Okay. Alright, so for those of you that just joined us, you are watching episode 115 right here on Actonville TV as we are speaking about Buddha. Now, we're going to continue with the show with the origins of Buddha. We're going to educate you guys in the next segment. Please join us as we'll come back straight after this commercial break.
See flooring differently. Innova Floor Santon. Contact us today.
Vanakkam, Namaste, Namaskaram, Sai Ram, Jai Shri Ram, Swami Saranamayyappa. Vetrivel Muruganuku Arogara, Yanavel Muruganuku Arogara, Shaktivel Muruganuku Arogara. Welcome back, everybody. Good afternoon to everybody that just joined us. If you're wondering why we are going live so early, remember it is Skanda Shasti week. So happy Skanda Shasti to everybody. And for those of you who are celebrating Diwali, happy Diwali to you in this weekend. Hope you guys had a nice Diwali yesterday. I know I couldn't sleep well last night due to the fact that people were busting fireworks till odd hours of the morning. But I hope everybody had a blessed and safe Diwali, yeah? Alright, so today we're talking about the Buddha or Buddhism, and we've got Shashi Gasai standing by to share with us her thoughts, her wisdom, her beliefs. Now, if you want to interact with us in studio today and join the conversation, please do so by commenting at the bottom of the screen and share your views, share your wisdom. There must be a lot of things that I will probably miss out during the show. Feel free to comment at the bottom of the screen and share things that I probably never heard of, but I'll do my best with the research that I've done. If you wish to keep your views, comments and beliefs anonymous, you're welcome to use our WhatsApp line, which you'll find at the bottom right of the screen of the entire show. And yeah, we'll help each other grow this channel, yeah? Alright, so let's get into it now. Buddha. Let's talk about the Buddha. Who is Buddha? Now, Buddha, also known as Siddhartha Gautama, most commonly referred to as the Buddha, meaning the awakened. Alright, so guys, please, as I'm continuing with educating you on the Buddha, remember that I am English speaking, so please forgive me as I may butcher some of the words as I mispronounce them, but I hope the message will still get across to you. I'll try my best though. Alright, okay, so we're talking about the Buddha. As I said, it means the awakened, right? Now, Buddha was a wandering ascetic and religious teacher who actually lived in South Asia during the 6th or 5th century BCE and founded Buddhism. Alright? Now, if you look at it, we are educating people this afternoon about Buddha. Okay? So we are talking about Buddhism. Join the conversation as I'd like to hear from you guys. Okay, so according to Buddhist tradition, okay, who he was born in Lumbini and what is now called Nepal, okay, to royal parents of Shakya clan, but renounced his home life to live as a wandering ascetic, as most scripts would say. Okay, now in Sanskrit, you'll call it, he lives as a Shramana. Now, after leading a life of mendicancy, they call it mendicancy, right? They also call it asceticism and meditation. He attained enlightenment at Bodh Gaya in what is now called India. Now, the Buddha thereafter wandered through the lower Indo-Gangetic plain, teaching and building a monastic order. He taught a middle way between sensual indulgence and severe asceticism. leading to nirvana, that is freedom from ignorance, craving, rebirth, and suffering. His teachings are summarized in a noble eightfold path, a training of the mind that includes ethical training and meditative practices such as sense restraint, kindness towards others, mindfulness, and jhana or dhyana, meaning meditating properly. Alright? So he died in Kushinagar, attaining parinirvana. The Buddha has since been venerated by numerous religions and communities across Asia. Now, a couple of centuries after his death, he came to be known by the title Buddha, which means awakened one or enlightened one. His teachings were compiled by the Buddhist community in the Vinaya, his codes for monastic practice, and the Sutta Pitaka, a compilation of teachings based on his discourses. These were passed down in Middle Indo-Aryan dialects through an oral tradition. Now later, generations composed additional texts such as systematic treatises such as Abhidharma or Abhidharma, biographies of the Buddha, collections or stories about his past lives known as Jataka tales, and additional discourses, that is the Mahayana Sutras. Now if we go a little forward and we look at the names and the history and titles, it gets a bit complicated, but as I go along, please feel free to interact with us in studio today. Share your thoughts, share your beliefs, and if you know something better than I may deliver it in better English and words, please don't feel shy to comment at the bottom of the screen. So let's move to the names, okay? The names, the etymology, the history, the names and titles, right? So if you look at Siddhartha Gautama and Buddha Shakyamuni, now according to Donald Lopez Jr., he tended to be known as either Buddha or Sakyamuni in China, Korea, Japan, and Tibet, and is as either Gautama Buddha or Samana Gautama, the ascetic Gautama in Sri Lanka and Southeast Asia. Now Buddha, meaning the awakened one, or if you want to say enlightened one, is the masculine form of Buddha. To wake, Bud meaning wake or to wake, be awake, observe, heed, attend, learn, become aware of, to know, be conscious again, to awaken, to open up as does a flower. Also one who has awakened from the deep sleep of ignorance and opened his consciousness to encompass all objects of knowledge. It is not a personal name, just remember that, but a title for those who have attained Bodhi, meaning awakening, enlightening. So Buddhi, the power to form and retain concepts, reason, discern, judge, comprehend, and understand, is the faculty which discerns truth, meaning Satya, from falsehood. The name of this clan was Gautama, the Pali Gautama. His given name was Siddhartha. In Sanskrit they call him P. Siddhartha, T. Dongrab, C. Ichadur Jew. Now Siddhartha means he who achieves his goal. The clan name of Gautama means descendant of Gautama. Gautama meaning the one who has the most light, and comes from the fact that Kshatriya clans rather, adopted the names of their house priests. So while the term Buddha is used in Agamas and the Pali Canon, the oldest surviving written records of the term Buddha is from the middle of the 3rd century BCE, when several edicts of Ashoka mention the Buddha and Buddhism. Now, Ashoka's Lumbini pillar inscription commemorates the emperor's pilgrimage to Lumbini as Buddha's birthplace, calling him Buddha Shakyamuni. Now, in Brahmi Sanskrit, they say it quite differently. They call it Buddha Shakyamuni, Buddha, sage of the Shakyas. Shakyamuni actually means the sage of Shakyas. As we continue to educate you in this episode about Buddha and Buddhism, let's take a quick break. When we come back, we're going to cut to Shashi Hussain all the way in London, where she will be educating us as to what is Buddha Day, Vasek Festival 2023 and Buddha Purnima 2023 when we come back.
Are you looking for transport from Lenasia south to surrounding areas for work? Look no further, contact Jones 083 298 5054.
Vanakkam, Namaste, Namaskaram, Sai Ram, Jai Shri Ram, Swami Yesaranammayappa, Vetrivelmuruganukku Arogara, Yadavelmuruganukku Arogara, Shaktivelmuruganukku Arogara. Welcome back, everybody. Good afternoon. Alright, for those of you that just joined us, we are continuing to talk about Buddhism and Buddha. And we did start off with, well, the origins of Buddha, and we ended up on his history and names. Now, before we get to Shashi Hussain, as promised, let's talk about his different names and, well, a couple of epithets, rather. Alright, so let's talk about the Tathagata. I don't know if you guys have ever heard this name, but when I was doing my research, that was the first time I ever heard of it. Alright, so the Tathagata is a term the Buddha commonly used when referring to himself or other Buddhas in the Pali Canon. Now, the exact meaning of the term is unknown, right? But it is often taught to mean either one who has thus gone, Tata Gata, okay? One who has thus come, Tata Gata, or it's Tata Agata, right? For one to come. Or sometimes one who has thus not gone, Tata Agata. Now, this is interpreted as signifying that the Tathagata is beyond all coming and going, beyond all transitory phenomena. A Tathagata is immeasurable, inscrutable, hard to fathom, and not apprehended. Now, if you look at other epithets, right, guys, there's a list of other epithets who is commonly seen together in the canonical text and depicts some of his perfected qualities. Like you get this is the other epithets, right? You get the Bhagavato, also they call it the Bhagavan, the Blessed One, all right? One of the most epithets together with Tathagata. Now you also get the epithet called Samasam Buddho. It means perfectly self-awakened. Alright? Another epithet that you'll come across is Vijakarana Sampano. That means endowed with higher knowledge and ideal conduct. You get the Sugata, which means well gone or well spoken. You get the Lukavidu, which means knower of many worlds. You get the Anutaro Purisa Damna Sariti, unexcelled trainer of untrained people. Then you get the Sata Deva Manasam, that means teacher of gods and humans. You come along with the Araham. Araham means worthy of homage. An Arahant is one with the taints destroyed, who has lived the holy life, done what had to be done, laid down the burden, reached the true goal, destroyed the fetters of being, and is completely liberated through final knowledge. Then you also get the Jina. The Jina is the conqueror, okay? Although the term is more commonly used to the name, an individual who has attained liberation in the religion Jainism is it's also known also an alternative title for the Buddha. Now, if you look at the Pali Canon, okay, it also contains numerous other titles and epithets for the Buddha, and this is including all-seeing, all-transcending sage, bull among men, the caravan leader, dispeller of darkness, the eye, foremost of charioteers, foremost of those who can cross, king of the Dharma, also known as Dharmaraja, kinsman of the sun, helper of the world, Lakanata, lion, Siha, and lord of Dhamma, of excellent wisdom, Varapana, radiant one, torchbearer of mankind, unsurpassed doctor and surgeon, victor in battle, and wielder of power. Another epithet used at inscriptions throughout South and Southeast Asia is Mahasramana, Great Sramana, ascetic, renunciate. Alright, so as we continue with the show, we got Shashi Gosai standing by for us all the way in London, as she will help you to learn, become learned on what is Buddha Day, or what is Vesak Festival, and Buddha Purnima. Check this out.
Namaste, I'm Shashi Gosai. Now, Hinduism itself dates back more than 5,000 years. And there were other religions that took the basis of Hinduism and had a few more ideas added to it. And one of them is Buddhism. The most important day is called the Buddha Day. So let's find out more about it. Buddhists do not believe that there's a single God who's created the earth or the universe. Buddhists believe in the teachings of Siddhartha Gautama, who later got the title of the Buddha, or the Enlightened One. Vesak is the most important Buddhist festival. It's also called the Buddha Day, Buddha Jayanti, or Buddha Purnima. It's the celebration of Gautama Buddha's birth, enlightenment, and death. In some countries, Buddha's awakening and death are celebrated as two separate times in the calendar, and they're called the Bodhi Day and the Nirvana Day. Although practiced for centuries, the day to celebrate Buddha's birthday was formalized at the Fellow of Buddhists held in Sri Lanka in 1950. The first full moon night in May is considered as his birthday and is called Vesak. Vesak comes from the Sanskrit word Vaisakhi, which is a lunar month that falls between April and May. Siddhartha was a prince who was born in the 5th century before Christ. He realized at the age of 29 that wealth did not bring happiness and peace. He traveled as a homeless holy man to see the world and saw suffering everywhere, regardless of rich, poor, educated, uneducated. He wanted to learn the meaning of life. After 6 years of studying and meditation on his travels, he became spiritually aware and reached his goal of finding the meaning of life. This was called enlightenment, or the Buddha. His birthday is celebrated as Vesak in many different countries with slight variations according to local customs. At dawn, we have the Buddhists who assemble in Buddhist temples for the ceremonial hosting of the Buddhist flag, singing hymns in praise of the holy triple gems, the Buddha, the Dharma, his teachings, the Sangha, his disciples. Paintings various scenes from Buddha's life. Meditate on the 8 precepts. The sutras are chanted in unison by monks in saffron robes. They bring flowers, candles, and joss sticks to lay at the feet of their teacher. These symbolic offerings are to remind followers that just as the beautiful flowers would wither away after a short while, and the candles and joss sticks would soon burn out, so too is life subject to decay and destruction. In many countries, for example Sri Lanka, the celebrations go on for 2 days, and by government decree, all liquor shops and meat shops are closed for the 2 days. Everyone refrains from eating meat or killing of any sort at all. Also, birds, insects, and animals are released by thousands in what is known as a symbolic act of liberation, of giving freedom to those who are in captivity, imprisoned, or tortured against their will. Some devout Buddhists will wear simple white clothing and spend the whole day in temples with renewed determination to observe the 8 precepts. Some temples also display a small statue of the Buddha in front of the altar in a small basin decorated with flowers and filled with scented water for devotees to pour over the statue. This is symbolic of the cleansing of bad karma and to reenact the events following the Buddha's birth, when devas and spirits made heavenly offerings to him. Monks will recite verses that Buddha had uttered 25 centuries ago for peace and happiness. Buddhists are reminded to live in harmony with people of all faiths, bring happiness to the unfortunate like the aged and the sick, distribute gifts and alms, volunteer in various charitable homes throughout the country. Buddha had given instructions on how to pay homage. When he was dying, his attendant Ananda started crying. Buddha advised him not to weep because this is a universal law that everyone, including him, will have to disintegrate over a period of time. He advised everyone not to cry when the physical body perishes, but to regard his teachings, the Dharma, as their teacher from then on. Only the truth of the Dharma is eternal and not subject to the law of change. He also stressed that the way to pay homage to him was by striving to follow his teachings. In Sri Lanka, electrically lit shelters called thoranas are erected in locations near a temple. Each unit illustrates a story about Buddha. Colorful lanterns called Vesakudu are hung along streets, signifying the light of Buddha, Dharma, and the Sangha. Food stalls are set up by Buddhist devotees. Free food and drinks are given to passers-by. In Indonesia, thousands of monks join together to repeat mantras and meditate as they circuit the temple in a ritual called Pradakshina. They bottle holy water, which symbolizes humility. They transport flames, which symbolize light and enlightenment, from location to location. And they receive charity from the people of Indonesia, which is a very popular function. Well, I hope you enjoyed listening to a little bit of Buddhism, which came from the original Hinduism. This is Shashi Gosai, London. Thank you so much.
Nandri Shashi Gosai, all the way in London, helping us to educate on what is Buddha Day, explaining the Vesak festival as well as the Buddha Purnima. Thank you so much for helping us and hitting our screens on Atonville TV. We love you, Shashi Gosai, and happy Diwali to you and your family. I hope you guys had a great weekend. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, as we continue to educate you on the origins of Buddha as well as Buddhism, please welcome Jason Styler Naidu on Atonville TV as he will continue to perform for you guys with Maruta Malay Murugan devotional. Check it out.
Vanakkam Stylers, a lovely, beautiful devotional song for our King, our Savior, Lord Muruga. The title of the song, Maruta Malay Mamani. And all the best to our matriculants that have started the exams. I pray the Lord Saravanabhava guides them and keeps them safe during these exams. And I pray that Lord Muruga showers His richest blessings upon you. Enjoy.
விழிக்கு துணை திருமென் மலர் பாதங்கள் மேமை கொன்றாள் மொழிக்கு துணை முருக இடம் நாமங்கள் முன்ப செய்த வழிக்கு துணை பயந்து தனி வழிக்கு துணை அவன் பன்னிரு தோளம் செங்கோடம் மயூரமுமே முருகா 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 தைப்பூசம் நன்னானிலே காவடியடக்கம் பக்தர்களுக்கெல்லாம் நல்ல வாழ்வினை வளரமைதியை தர வேணும் வடிவேலா முருகா 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 மணமிகு சந்தனம் அழகிய குங்குமம் முருகா மணமிகு சந்தனம் அழகிய குங்குமம் முருகா மணமிகு சந்தனம் அழகிய குங்குமம் மணமிகு சந்தனம் அழகிய குங்குமம் ஐயா உலக மங்கள மந்திரமே மருதமலை மாமணியே முருகையா தேவரன் குளம் கார்க்கும் வேலையா ஐயா மருதமலை மாமணியே முருகையா திருநாளும் பக்தர்கள் கொண்டாடும் கண்ணையா மருதமலை மாமணியே முருகையா தேவரன் குலம் காக்கும் வேலையா ஐயா மருதமலை மாமணியே முருகையா கோடிகள் குவந்தாலும் கோமகனை மறவே பக்தி தருகிற வருவேன் வருவேன் பரமன திருமகனே அழகிய தமிழ் மகனே பரமன திருமகனே அழகிய தமிழ் மகனே காண்பதெல்லாம் உனத முகம் அதில் ஆடும் முகம் காலமெல்லாம் எனது மனம் முதுகுது முருகா காண்பதெல்லாம் உனத முகம் அதில் ஆடும் முகம் காலமெல்லாம் எனது மனம் முருகுது முருகா அதிபதியே குருவரனே அருணினியே சரவணனே அதிபதியே குருவரனே அருணினியே சரவணனே அதிபதியே குருவரனே அருணினியே சரவணனே அதிபதியே குருவரனே அருணினியே சரவணனே பணியத மலையத நதியத கடலத சகலம உணர்வு கருணைய கடலதே பணியத மலையத நதியத கடலத சகலம உணர்வு கருணைய கடலதே வருவாய் புகழே வேலையா மருதமலை தேவர் வணங்கும் மருதமலை முருகா மருதமலை மாமணியே முருகையா தேவரன் குலம் காக்கும் வேலையா ஐயா மருதமலை மாமணியே முருகையா தேவரன் குலம் காக்கும் வேலையா ஐயா மருதமலை மாமணியே ஐயா மருதமலை மாமணியே முருகையா முருகா
வெற்றிவேல் முருகனுக்கு அரோகரா, ஞானவேல் முருகனுக்கு அரோகரா, சக்திவேல் முருகனுக்கு அரோகரா. Beautiful delivery by Jason Stein and Naidu himself. with Maruta Malay Murugan devotional track. Beautiful delivery. Thank you so much. All the way from Durban, guys. I loved it. Alright, lots of people are continuing to tell us that there's a bit of a network issues. Guys, if you do watch your show a little bit later when you're in a better area with better network, you will be able to watch the entire show properly from beginning to end, as our network is perfectly fine in Malaysia South. Anyways, guys, let's take a quick break. When we come back, we'll continue to educate you on the origins of Buddha as well as Buddhism straight after this.
See flooring differently. Innova Floor Santon. Contact us today.
Vanakkam, Namaste, Namaskaram, Sai Ram, Jai Shri Ram, Swami Saranammayappa, Vetrivel Muruganukku Arogara, Yalavel Muruganukku Arogara, Shaktivel Muruganukku Arogara. Welcome back and good afternoon for those of you that just joined us. Alright, so we were talking about Buddhism, we spoke about the origination, we also spoke about what Buddha Day is, we mentioned the Vesak festival, we also spoke about Buddha Purnima. You can join the conversation just by interacting with us and leaving a comment at the bottom of the screen, and maybe we missed a little something, so yeah. Alright, so we spoke about all of those things and we played great music, bhajan music for you guys. Hope you guys enjoyed it. So yeah. Okay, so let's jump back into it. Now, as we're talking about Buddhism, or should we say the origination of Buddha, I've come across a lot of history, and also there's things that are called like pillars and rock inscriptions. I can go through a bit of history quickly with you guys so you get a little bit educated on Buddha. Alright, so let's look at the history quickly. Now, on the basis of, the philological evidence, Indologists and Pali experts, who's also known as Oscar von Hinduber, he says that some of the Pali suttas have retained very archaic place names like Santex and historical data from close to the Buddha's lifetime, including the Mahaparinibbana Sutta, which contains detailed accounts of the Buddha's final days. Now, Hinduber proposes a composition date of no later than 350 to 320 BCE for this text, which would allow for a true historical memory of the events approximately 60 years prior if the short chronology for Buddha's lifetime is accepted. But he also points out that such a text was originally intended more as hagiography than as an exact historical record of events. Now, J.S. Strong sees certain biographical fragments in the canonical text preserved in Pali as well as Chinese, Tibetan, Sanskrit as the earliest material. These include texts such as the Discourse of the Noble Quest. Now, if you look at the pillar and the rock inscriptions, no written records about Gautama were actually found from his lifetime or from 1 or 2 centuries thereafter. But from the middle of the 3rd century BCE, several edicts of Ashoka mention the Buddha and Buddhism, particularly Ashoka's Lumbini pillar inscription commemorates the emperor's pilgrimage to Lumbini as Buddha's birthplace, calling him the Buddha, the Shakyamuni, which we've mentioned before. So another one of his edicts mentions that the titles of several Dhamma texts in Buddhism, Dhamma is another word for Dharma, and establishing the existence of a written Buddhist tradition at least by the time of the Maurya era. These texts may be the precursor of the Pali canon. Now, Sakyamuni is also mentioned in a belief of Bharat, and a relation with his illumination and the Bodhi tree with the inscription Bhagavato Sakyamuni Bodhu. It means the illumination of the blessed Sakyamuni. All right, so the oldest surviving manuscripts, the oldest surviving Buddhist manuscripts are it's called the Gandharan Buddhist text found in Gandhara, corresponding to the modern northwestern Pakistan and eastern Afghanistan, and is written in Gandhari. They actually date back from the century BCE to the 3rd century CE. Now, we've got lots of messages coming through as I cannot understand it, guys. If you are watching the show, please translate it to English so I can understand as well. All right. So as we continue to educate you on Buddhism, we want to take a look at Buddhism and the biographical sources. And now, if you look at it early, canonical sources include the Arya Pariyasena Sutta. Now, that is a bit too in depth for this 1 hour show, as this will take a good few hours to educate on. All right. So as we're talking about this historical person, Buddha. Understanding the historical person. Now, if you look at scholars now, right? Scholars are actually hesitant to make claims about the historical facts of Buddha's life. Now, most of them accept the Buddha lived, taught, and founded a monastic order during the Mahajanapada. And they say, and during the reign of Bimbisara, his friend, protector, and ruler of the Magadha Empire, and died during the early years of the reign of Ajatashatru, who was the successor of Bimbisara. Now, thus making him a younger contemporary Mahavira, the Jain Tirthankara. There is less consensus on the veracity of many details contained in traditional biographies, and Buddhist scholars have mostly given up trying to understand the historical person. The earliest versions of Buddhist biographical texts that we have already contain many supernatural, mythical, and legendary elements. Now, in the 19th century, some scholars simply omitted these from their accounts of their life, so that the image projected of Buddha, or was of Buddha, who was a rational Socratic teacher, a great person perhaps, but a more or less ordinary human being. More or recent scholars tend to see such, demythologizers and remologizers creating a Buddha that appealed to them by eliding one that does not. So if you look at the dating of Buddha, the dates of Gautama's birth and death are actually uncertain, to be quite honest. And within the Eastern Buddhist tradition of China, Vietnam, Korea, and Japan, the traditional date for Buddha's death was 949 BCE. But according to the Khatan system of the Kalachakra tradition, Buddha's death was about 833 BCE. Now, Buddhist texts present two chronologies which have been used to date the lifetime of the Buddha. The long chronology from Sri Lankese chronicles state that Buddha was born 298 years before Asoka's coronation and died 218 years before the coronation, thus a lifespan of about 80 years according to these chronicles. Coming up next to keep you well entertained, we got Vandana Narena with Ekabar Bole Bandari.
एक बार बोले भंडारी के बिंदिया पहन के सारी, लगा के बिंदिया पहन के सारी, चाल चले मत वाली गोकुल में आ गई, गोकुल में आ गई। एक बार बोले भंडारी बनकर ब्रिज की नारी, गोकुल में आ गई, गोकुल में आ गई। पार्वती ने मना किया पर ना माने त्रिपुरारी, गोकुल में आ गई, गोकुल में आ गई। देखा मोहन ने जब तो समझ गई वो सारी बात रे। देखा मोहन ने जब तो, देखा मोहन ने जब तो समझ गई वो सारी बात रे। ऐसी बजाई बंसी सुध बुध भोले भोलेनाथ रे। खिसक गई जब सर से सारी, खिसक गई जब सर से सारी, मुस्कुराई गिरधारी, गोकुल में आ गई, गोकुल में आ गई। एक बार बोले भंडारी बनकर ब्रिज की नारी, गोकुल में आ गई, गोकुल में आ गई। पार्वती ने मना किया पर ना माने त्रिपुरारी, गोकुल में आ गई, गोकुल में आ गई।
Hare Hare Mahadev! What a beautiful delivery from Vandana Noreen all the way Winchester Hills in Johannesburg as she sung for you Ek Baar Bole Bandari. I hope you guys enjoy that one. For those of you who just joined the show, don't forget to like, share and subscribe to this channel if you haven't done it already, as we love educating about our journey, the Journey Show, exploring Hinduism. When we come back, we've got the 108 principles of the value system from the Thirukural standing by for you. We'll come back straight after this. Vanakkam, Namaste, Namaskaram, Sai Ram, Jai Shri Ram, Swamiye Saranammayappa, Vetrivel Muruganukku Arogara, Yanavel Muruganukku Arogara, Shaktivel Muruganukku Arogara. Welcome back, everybody. Good afternoon for those of you who just joined us. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, for those of you who just joined the link and clicked on the link and joined us, you are a little late as we started streaming live almost, well, it's going to be an hour soon, so please watch the show a little bit later. Click on the link and you can watch it all over again and be well educated on the origination of Buddha as well as Buddhism. This is episode 115. All right, coming up next, as we come to the end of the show, let's take a look at the 108 principles of the value system from the Tirukurul today.
Today's lesson from the 108 principles of the value system from the Thirukural is number 35. Cultivate forgiveness.
Now, as you know, when it hits 6 o'clock, I will be joining the Meenakshi Sundareswara Koval Temple as they start off their first day on Skanda Shasti.
The Meenakshi Sundareshwar Kovil invites you and your family to journey with us towards a blessed Skanda Shasti. 13th to 18th November. For more information, please contact Sharman or Dr. B. Maestri.
And for those of you who are looking for a guru to perform the following services, let's take a look at what the director has to put up for me first. Okay, we have Guru Indresan first, who can help you with your astrological readings as well as your Panchagam. He can help you with your Navagraha Shanti, your house prayers, your business prayers, your car prayers, your temple and hall weddings, your ceremonies like your 16 days and your 1 year, your Janda prayers, your auspicious Hawans, as well as your Kumbha Abhishegams. If you need to contact Guru Indresan, please look at the number that's on the screen. As I cannot see it at all. Well, if you need Guru Indresan, ladies and gentlemen, please contact him on, I'll give you the numbers shortly. It is 081 325 0115. I'll give it to you again, 081 325 0115. Alright, so for those of you who need certain services from a specific guru, special guru, you can contact Guru Prega, as he can help you with the astrological readings, your spiritual cleansing, as well as your cleansing prayers, your house prayers, your car prayers, your business prayers, as well as your temple and hall weddings, your funerals as well, and your ceremonies like your 16 days and your 1 year. Don't forget your auspicious Hawans, and if anybody needs help with their trance, their Kali prayers, their porridge prayers, their midnight prayers, their Murugan prayers, and etc., you can contact Guru Pregasan, as I call him, Guru Prega, at 082 578 3833. I'll give it to you again, 082 578 3833. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, as that is all the time we have for this afternoon, please join us again tomorrow at 7 p.m. Times might change according to the schedule, the load shedding schedule in the Nation South. I will be live again tomorrow, as we go live every single weekday towards the evening. From myself, Kimera, Heeralal, have a beautiful Skanda Shasti week and a beautiful fast. I hope you guys get through it with great spirituality. No suffering, because if you're suffering, it's not fasting. From myself, Kimera, Heeralal, welcome, namaste, namaskaram, Sai Ram, Jai Shri Ram, Swami Saranam Mayappa. Velmuruganakkarogara, Yana Velmuruganakkarogara, Shakti Velmuruganakkarogara. Good night, everyone.